One more day of filming in advance. So, what do I do? Um, I have no clue. No clue. Prefer it like that. Um, I'm picking out paper, and I'm quickly becoming aware of the fact that the thousand or so pieces of paper that I have are not the right ones at all. It's like embroidery floss. It's like cross stitch floss. My sisters are both big cross stitchers. I do a little bit, mostly Halloween, but every time you start a new project, you never have any of the right floss. I'm becoming quite aware that I have none of the right paper for this particular project. Um, I really thought I was going to try to add flowers to this one. I'm going to do that because that's where I would like to head down the road with. Uh, Kind of like the Anna Maria Perry book that I showed you in the beginning of this. I want to do stuff on top of simple squares. Um, I love hand stitching. That's why I like cross stitch. I have come to the conclusion that the last two or three quilts I had finished completely are hand quilted. I love keeping my hands busy. I need to keep my hands busy, whether it's, whatever. My hands don't need to sit idle. My mind wanders, nothing productive. Um, and I can sit there and listen to a book on tape or a movie that I've watched 100 times and sit there and sew by hand, sit there and cross stitch a little bit. Um, but I can just do it for hours at a time. The time goes by so fast when I do it like that, when I live my day like that. Um, I need to keep my hands busy. And so appliquing flowers on top of already made quilts and or already pieced together tops very simply. Now some of these are not so simple, but I might really start heading in that direction at least for a little while. The fabric I already have will lend itself to that, um, by hook or by crook. Um, and I'm really the one I'm making now that I showed you already. I actually worked on the corners today. Um, at least figuring out how I want to do the corners. I haven't put it together yet, but I know how I want to do it. And it's all improvisational. That's hard to say. I'm just adding like a corner here, a border here, a square here, and repeating that pattern. Um, but this is this is getting me in trouble in fabric world. Um, all these different quilt ideas now floating in my head, and I blame it all on Anna Maria Perry. Um, and other fabric designers. Ebond is a huge culprit of my crimes because I really she has spurred. I want to meet this woman so bad. I'm going to really focus on next time I go out to California to try to take a class from her if she's around. Um, I love that shape right there. Hmm. 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 Did I go out of order a little bit? Hmm. Um, I did film these in advance so that I could take off a couple days to the mountains and cool off. Whew. The average temperature up there is 73. It's not even 73 at night here, in the coldest part of the night. However, today is Sunday, mid morning. It is coolish. It's warmer than 73, but I even walked this morning because I'm like, oh, this won't take me down, and a little bit less humidity. Anyhow, I would really love to form a Rex Rayish flower on top of some plain squares. I really would. I really would. Did I say I really would? I really would. So that's kind of where I'm thinking I'm heading. Having no clue as to where that was going to lead me when I first fell in love with that man's aesthetic. Really did. Really. This has been such a growing year for me. Um, as far as my super likes and super, that's just not me anymore. Um, is that evolution? I think so. I think so. Is it forever? I don't know, and I really don't care. I just know that for right now, I am totally into all this stuff. Um, and, process is huge for me. And um, I'm just having the time of my life, really. Playing with all this paper, really and truly. I know that sounds silly. Are you a simpleton? Perhaps. 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 But that's okay with me, too. Um, I'm not a fancy girl, anyhow. Uh, I like what I have always been very decisive. I like what I like. I know what I don't like. Um, the evolution of my likes and dislikes in art has been a slower process. But I do know when I saw that Rex Ray book, when I saw Ebon stuff, I'm like, holy mackerel. And when I saw that Rex Ray book, I'm like, holy mackerel. And when I saw a jelly plate and figured out how to use one, holy mackerel. All of that together makes a lot of mackerel. And uh, I, 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 I don't know how else to explain it. I really, um, that right there could make a great quilt block too. Just a lot of white squares with a tiny little narrow sashing in between, which is another word for border. And that square right there. That square right there, I love that square. Um, so much so that I might take a picture of it. Uh, I just, I know what I like. I know what I like. I know what I like. And there's no getting around it for me. And I mean, you give me a glue stick and a piece of paper and some scissors. Is it that simple? Pretty much. The fact that I have, Neocolor 2s, Stabilos, tempera paint sticks helps the situation. But I'll never turn down a piece of paper, some scissors, and a glue stick. Never. Never. It would be interesting when we go up to the mountains to get like a tourist book and just cut it apart and see what happens. Huh. Huh. Have I just started a whole new project for myself? Perhaps. I like that right there too. If I had more pink Star Trek looking emblems, I would put them around those blue dots. Love it. Love it. So much so that I might take a picture of that one too. Um, I just, I don't think I owe a great deal of thanks to my husband because he plays along with my silly adventures. He does not um, care that I spend money on art supplies. Um, that I'm always constantly saying, "Can you put some more ink in the printer?" Um, he 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 likes the kind of art I like. He loves bright stuff. He loves abstract, and he has never said, "Why do you have an entire bedroom filled with this stuff?" Never. He teases me and says the house is going to roll down the hill, but he never ever, or if I'm moving my room around again, he never ever says, "Oh, good Lord." He teases me by saying, "Gunner," which is our dog, "Gunner, here she goes again." He says, "Hold on, here we go again." But he never, ever, ever says no. And for that, I'm eternally grateful um, and lucky. And I know I'm lucky. My practice husband would not have been that agreeable. Let's just say. No, no ditch to him, but he would not have been that agreeable. Um, but I think I am going to take a little bit of a book and some scissors and a glue stick, and at night in the hotel room, force myself to make a quilt pattern. I don't know if I'll film it because I won't have a good enough setup or lights or anything else. Plus, there's probably going to be snoring in the background from that grateful spouse that I have, and his dog. They're a duo. Um, but so much fun, so much fun, and I sound like a broken record, but I can't help it. I just can't help it. Um, my enthusiasm for these projects is the real deal. I am not an actress. I am not a paid actress. Can you tell? Can you tell? Um, I I just enjoy this. And I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. It is the most therapeutic thing I have come across in my life. Um, Making a art video every day, whether it's with fabric or paper, whether it's sitting at a sewing machine or at a table with a glue stick. That process in my day, in my day, if there's a day where I don't do it, I'm unless I'm traveling in a foreign country and having the time of my life, I'm really floundering for that day. I feel like I haven't accomplished anything. I could be cleaning, polishing silver, and I'm like, okay, you didn't do anything today. I just feel like my day is not complete unless I'm doing something like this. Something like this. So I stay out of trouble. I keep myself out of trouble. Um, call it simpleton, call it quite clever, call it artistic, call it simpleton, whatever. It doesn't bother me. I know I like it. I know I like it. And part of my art love is making the video. Um, I enjoy that not as much as I do, especially when the internet's slow or something like that. But I enjoy that process also. Um, and that's why I keep making these videos, which, grateful that you're here, but there's not a lot of you, and I'm fine with that. I really, really am. Now, I added some extra stuff, so I did fast forward this a little bit more. I colored in some white spots or some colors that I didn't want showing on these pieces, but and then I outlined it all in black, one of those Sharpie gel pens. Um, it's okay. And then because the brown paper is Da Vinci paper, it has a Da Vinci stamp on it, I went in and I added lines on everything, or the big pieces. And I don't hate that. I don't hate that. It doesn't show up very cleverly in this picture, but they're there. You can see it on that blue one. And I even added a couple more on the Da Vinci ones, the brown ones, so that it kind of all blended in. Da Vinci just has more curves right now. But oh my gosh, it looks like a game board though, doesn't it? Like Parcheesi or something. Parcheesi, Milton Bradley, you need me? I'm here for you. I'm your girl. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.